Good morning, frugalistas, dumpsterinos, and gardeners who are far more skilled than I am. I wanted to do a little follow-up video today on what's going on with some of the things we found in the dumpster. And I'm outside doing yard work. That's why I mentioned gardeners, because the first thing we're going to do is plant the crack tomato. I know people are pretty excited about the crack tomato. People have asked for follow-up on the crack tomato. I'm looking at it right now and it's looking a little droopy. Okay, it's still in the bottle of water that I had in the car when I rescued crack tomato from the crack in the pavement at the Aldi dumpster. I am using a tripod. I'm trying to up my game professionally as a dumpster diver, but if you see the image bouncing around, it's because the cat thinks now would be a good time to rub his little head against the tripod, and it's making it bounce. Thank you very much. Thank you. Come here, culprit. Oh, yes. This is Pumpkin. Oh, don't struggle. Don't struggle. Show you love me. I just got all his hair in my mouth. Remember Pumpkin from last spring? He was just a tiny little baby kitten. I'll let him go before he rips my throat out. No, he loves me. He loves me. He follows me around all day. Hair, hair, hair. Anyway, we're going to plant crack tomato. But the exciting thing is, there's a family of crack tomatoes, which I need to also get going in some decent dirt. I'll show you. I'll show you. And then, well, we'll just have some follow-up with other things, too. Frugal Daddy got the fuse in the mail to try to fix the TV, so hopefully we can get him to work on that. And we'll see if our solar garden lights work. And maybe we can try the little dog boots on one of the dogs. First, let's start with crack tomato. Let me show you all the other crack tomatoes, too. So here's Aldi crack tomato, and she's feeling a little droopy, so we need to get her out of this bottle of water and into some nice dirt. But here's my little patio here. Yeah, I laid the brick myself. And look, we have all sorts of crack tomato plants peeking up. And I haven't wanted to pull them up and transplant them. I've really purposely left them here for a while, not simply out of laziness, but also I wanted them to get a little bit bigger before I decided to try to move them. Some of them are bigger than others. And I had this last year, for those of you who have been fascinated by my gardening abilities for years. We had cracked tomatoes here last year as well, you know, from a tomato that drops off a plant and just leaves its seeds behind. And I remember last year someone left the comment of, don't bother because the cracked tomatoes aren't going to bear fruit. I don't know why they thought that, but it wasn't true. They did bear fruit. Look at that one and his friend, the croquet ball. So that's a decent cracked tomato with some little ones behind. Plus, that's pretty big. These two are actually in the dirt in front of the little patio area, and then plus a little one. So anyway, anywho, we're gonna dig all these up, and I do have a kind of a sort of normal garden with some tomato plants, which, by the way, all of those were, I'll show you, they were all because of tomatoes that dropped their seeds last year. I didn't plant any in the main garden. I just let them sprout up. All the tomatoes I started this year are in pots, hence all of these tomatoes. And I know people have said you got to get them out of pots, or they need bigger pots, they need more area, but yeah, that's not going to happen. They're just going to stay in pots, and we're going to hope for the best. I also have, as you can see, I have a cucumber plant here in a pot, and that tomato with it just came up from having been in the pot last year. I got some strawberries. Those are babies. You know how the strawberry plants shoot out their runners, and you have to separate the baby plant from the mama plant, or else mama won't produce strawberries because she's too concerned about her babies. So these are babies that I just stuck in other pots because I'm just not sure where to put them right at the moment. So here's my normal big garden. As you can see, there are my tools that I left on the ground. I have been trying to weed. See all that greeny little ground cover there? That was everywhere in this garden. So I have been ripping it up, but it's a thankless job. None of the plants thank me for it. So all of these tomatoes, all of these in here are just from tomatoes that fell last summer and just left their seeds behind. A couple more here. These are raspberry bushes. Actually, this garden does get sunlight in the afternoon. In the morning, it's kind of shaded. Oh, look, we are going to get some raspberries. But more importantly, let's get back to the cracked tomatoes. This is cracked tomato the next day. I put some rocks in there to prop the branches up a little bit because they were really, really droopy yesterday after I transplanted her, and she just wasn't looking good. But she seems much perkier today, which I'm glad, in preparation for the tropical storm that's about to hit. Now here are the solar lights that Frugal Daddy recently found dumpster diving. There's 3 of them. Here's the 3rd one. The girls were playing with them last night, running around pretending to be flower fairies. For the moment, they're fine here charging, and I'm going to move them into the actual flower garden later, and we'll see if they go on. All right, guys, here's Frugal Daddy and the $1,200 TV. He received the 99-cent replacement fuse in the mail from eBay. He has inserted it. We have plugged in the TV. Let's see. Yep, that's me in the reflection. Let's give it a try, Daddy. Turn it on. Ooh, I heard a blub blub. Ooh, look at that. 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 Whoa. It's this old house TV. Look at that picture, people. Look at that picture. All right.
Have you seen a TV this big?
Yes. At Sears. YouTube. It's a smart TV. It has all of these exciting options available. Shark Awareness Week. Why are they calling it Shark Awareness Week and not just Shark Week? What happened to Shark Week? Classic Shark Week. Anyway, so there you go. That is amazing. Is that amazing, people? That's a $1,200 TV. So before you throw away your really fancy, expensive, gigantic flat screen TV, his head's bigger than yours, Frugal Daddy.
Bigger than mine.
Yeah, check out the fuse. Well, it's hard to see in the dark, but here are the solar-powered garden lights, and they work, which is great and festive and fun. Okay. Very, very quiet. The puppy is resting. I'm going to try to get some of the little red puppy boots on her little paws while she's still resting so she doesn't rip them off her feet and try to chew them up. And after a few more days, here's cracked tomato, all perked up and happy, and even growing some little flowers that should hopefully turn it. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Tomatoes. So, I think cracked tomato transplant was a success. And here's friend of cracked tomato. This is brick crack tomato. That was Aldi dumpster cracked tomato. Frugal Daddy.
Yeah.
Here, try a keto cookie that I made for you.
Good cracker.
On a
It's really good.
Really? On a scale of 1 to 10, Neve gave me a 6. Autumn gave it a 7.
8.
An 8. Well, there you go, folks. The ringing endorsements keep chiming in like a clock dong. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our little dumpster diving update video. What do they do with all those things they find? I think this is long enough for today, don't you? Bye. Thanks for watching. He says bye too.